Okay. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Today I got a really special guest coming on today, a near and dear client named Nikki, and we just wanted to bring her on because she has a pretty powerful story that I think a lot of people in this world can resonate and get some inspiration from. So I figured it'd be a good idea to bring her on here and let her tell you guys what's been happening in her life these last few months since we started working together, because it's pretty bonkers, and I just want to let the world know that stuff like this is possible. So, Nikki, without further ado, please share with the world your story. Let everybody know what's going on with you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki.
Hi.
I am a single mom from Utah, and I was able to meet Justyn and Ron back in September. I was at a conference, and the head guy had met Ron and brought him in, and we heard about the awesome opportunity Ron and Justyn have, and so I decided to start working with them. And the reason I decided to do this program is because I've actually struggled with unexplainable stomach issues since about 2011. Um, Doctors were never able to figure out what was causing the pain, and so I just learned to live with it. And it wasn't until I started this program and got about 2 months into it that I had my eyes open to just how severe the pain was that I was living with, because I had the opportunity to be pain free. So I started working with Justyn and Ron in September, and they got me on a stricter diet to just help give my stomach a break. And after about a month and a half of being on it, I ended up cheating. It was right around Thanksgiving time. And I found out real quick that that was not a good idea, but the beautiful blessing that came from it was it opened my eyes to the kind of pain that I was living with daily that I thought was normal, and had the opportunity to no longer feel it. So I'm able to go throughout my day being a single mom, working two full-time jobs, raising my son, and eat food and not be in discomfort. I don't have bloating. I was very bloated. Um, I get to regularly use the bathroom, which is odd, but it's a success for me.
Whoop whoop.
They
That's a
like
big
to
one.
talk about, you and your dad like to talk about poop, so might as well give credit to the fact that
If anyone's seen anything from us before, it's a common topic. It's okay.
it is. So I get to visit it regularly, and it's been a blessing.
That's
So
awesome. Okay,
yeah.
and okay, and I just want to give people some context, because what you mentioned, I want to really drive that point home. That is, so if hopefully if you don't mind me sharing this, when we first met, we had a few Zoom meetings. We just
Hmm.
kind of got to know each other. And went through a health evaluation, that sort of thing, and kind of once we got an idea of what your situation was like, that's when we started talking about like different ways we can help and that sort of thing. But if you remember, I think it was that second call we were on, maybe the first one, but you were actually you were in a lot of pain like while we were on the Zoom. And if I'm remembering right, I think there was also a time where maybe you were gonna consider rescheduling just because of how bad the pain got before we hopped on together. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Am I remembering right? Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I remember, just because I'm seeing you now, I'm looking at your eyes and your smile and your skin and just everything, and I'm just remembering just literally watching you fight with to hold back tears just because of how bad the pain was, not because you're like an emotional person or anything like that. Just literally, you were just in so much pain, and then we got you to the point, basically, in like a little under 2 months, where you kind of had to get a reminder of how bad the pain was, because like it was just not even anything on your mind at all, and it was like that for over a decade. Like that's just crazy. So I just wanted to let people know just what that really is like, and just how much work you've actually put into yourself and how far you've come, because you literally went from a place where like, pain every day to where a strong-minded, strong person like you was, having to fight off tears, and now it's just not even anything that you think
Yeah.
about anymore. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think
If
that I
I
think that's really cool.
Yeah, if I remember right, Justin, I believe on that first call you had asked me on a pain scale, Nikki, from 1 to 10, one being okay and 10 being the worst, where does your pain level sit? And if I remember right, I told you, well, on a typical person's pain level, my base starts at a 10, and I sit at a
Right.
7 up from
Yep.
there.
Totally.
with the pain that I was feeling. So it was way past what a typical person can handle pain-wise, but it had become so normal for me
Yep.
that I just
Yep.
had to deal with it. And you actually pointed out to me, it was probably 4 or 5 calls into working with you guys. You had just all of a sudden stopped and you're like, Nikki, I need to point something out. And you're like, you have a genuine smile. Not that your smile wasn't ever genuine, but
Yep.
it no longer has pain behind it. And it's funny because since then, I've noticed that just in my daily interactions with myself, with my son, with family, I'm a lot happier. I've always been a happy person because I don't ever want something to affect how I treat other people. So I've
For
always
sure.
tried to be happy, but it's such a pleasure and joy to be able to be genuinely happy and not fighting on the inside to
Yeah.
force it to look like I'm happy.
Totally, totally. Well, I mean, like I remember one of the things you mentioned to me that doctors and other professionals and people in your life they were asking you if you suffered from depression and things like that. And then do you remember what I said? I was like, well, if you're in pain every hour that you're awake for 10 years, you're definitely not going to be a super happy, bubbly person. Like, of course, that's going to wear you down emotionally and mentally. And you're like, yeah, yeah, I don't have depression. I'm just sore. I'm hurting,
Just
And so, like,
hurt.
so the pain goes away, and it's just like you're talking about, it's that much easier to literally put on a genuine smile. And I mean, you've always been a really smiley person. I mean, we were laughing and joking from the first time we met, but just, like I said, there's just no more pain behind the smile anymore. It's just all happiness and joy, and not just you being strong for other people, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because like you are a warrior. I mean, you're a fighter. Nobody can go through what you went through for that long and then still be happy, but you did. So I mean, I'm just happy that now you're getting to fight for things you want to fight and not just fight against stuff just to keep going.
Yeah, I feel very blessed to have found you guys and get to kind of take back my life. Being 30 years old, it was hard knowing that I didn't have the energy. Oh, I didn't have the energy because my body was always in pain. Um, but just the fortitude as well to do all the things that I really wanted to do. It took a lot just to get through my just the basic daily things I needed to, that extracurricular things kind of really got put off.
Right.
And within the last couple months, I've actually started picking up more extracurricular activities, taking my son
That's
to the park
awesome.
more often. So I've felt like I've been able to be the more active person that I've always
Yep.
wanted to be.
Yep.
So it's awesome.
That's really cool. I mean, even just something super, like I remember when we first started just implementing daily walking into your program, just like how good it felt, how excited you were when you were able to actually do that and go for a walk. And you're like, I feel good from doing this. Like I'm not just having to force myself because it hurts so bad. Like that was
Yeah,
just that was a really cool moment for me. It's definitely it's been a real privilege to get to be a part of
thank you.
this with you, and to get to, be the guy that can claim just at least a small part of, a part of you in your story of making this happen.
Thank
Um,
you.
I've been doing this for a long time, but it never really gets old. So, you know,
Yeah.
just thank you for being such an awesome client.
I thank you. Thank you guys for supporting me and helping me. And it takes a team, but I think my biggest achievement is the fact that I can stand at work doing hair and all day long and then still come home and have energy after, and I'm not wiped because my body was just fighting to survive.
Yep. Totally. 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 Yeah. And now you just get to put all that energy that you were spending before on good things and positive stuff. And just, I mean, imagine if you've been able, with all you've been able to accomplish ever since this whole thing started, just imagine where you'll be this time next year and this time 10 years from now. Like when you can just devote all that energy towards doing stuff you want to do and not just, fighting
Surviving.
off, fighting off gut pain and chronic pain and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So just really quickly, I always like to ask you guys this: if there's anybody watching right now, any guys, any girls, or anything that you think can relate to your story, or that could maybe just get some hope or some inspiration from it, do you have like any advice or any piece of information that you can pass on just from the stuff that you've learned from this whole experience that could help somebody else?
I guess the only piece of advice I have is reach out and ask because you never know. The answer is always no unless you ask. And if I hadn't taken the chance to just ask if there was something you guys could possibly do to help me, I would have never been able to experience life not in pain. And I was very skeptical. I thought, you know what, I've ran through the ringers with so many different things, but what
Yeah.
do I have to lose? And it was pretty much I had everything to gain from it. So if there's anyone out there that's struggling, that's hurting, and doctors haven't been able to in any way help or aid, it's just reach out, just ask, and don't be afraid because what do you have to lose? You have everything to gain.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. that that really touched my heart. Thank you, Nikki. No, I'm
No
kidding.
problem, Justin.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You're a very busy lady. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
I definitely know that there are way too many people in this world that were in similar shoes to how you were in, with like everybody telling you they have the answers and nobody ever actually being able to do anything for you, and just feeling lost and hopeless, like this is just going to be the way things are forever. um, and so that's why I thought this was so important that we do this, because I mean, especially when you're talking about chronic pain, there's something special about the way that makes your life suck. And if you can just be a beacon of some, real genuine hope for people, I mean, I think that's huge.
Absolutely. I also appreciate the opportunity to share my story. I'm not very good at doing it, but
Well, you're way better. You're way better at this kind of thing than I am. So don't even worry about it. All right, you're doing awesome. You're doing
but
great.
I thank you. But I hope it helps. I hope it gives someone the courage to reach out who has felt defeated and felt like there is no other option. And
Yeah,
you
me
just
too.
never know. So thank you for the
Me
opportunity as
too.
well.
Well, you are very welcome. Thank you for saying yes. Just thank you for doing all the work, because like I can be the greatest coach in the world and I can tell you everything to do ever, but if you don't actually do the work and you don't actually stick to it and you don't actually follow the advice and follow the program, and just if your heart's not in it, I mean, there's really only so much that I can do. So
Yeah.
yeah, your kinds of stories make me look really cool and make me sound like I'm such hot stuff. But really, it's like it's all you guys. If you didn't actually do the work, none of these stories would be real. None of this stuff would ever happen. So I appreciate you saying thank you, but really, it's it's me should be thanking you.
Well, it goes both ways. So
Aw, shucks. Okay, well, we could be doing this forever because we're both very
we,
polite people, but
you know what? You're welcome. Yes, you're absolutely welcome. But I
oh, there
do
we
all the
go.
work
There we
over
go.
here.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Feels so
Okay,
wrong to do
well,
that, but we'll
Nikki,
take it.
thank you very much for this. Have an
Okay.
amazing day. I'll talk to you really soon. Okay.
Okay. Thanks,
Cool.
Justin. Have a
Okay.
good one.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much. You too.